Welcome to the Also AI podcast. Discover the latest advancements in artificial intelligence through insightful discussions with industry experts. Each episode will bring a fresh perspective on AI and addresses the real-world challenges, opportunities, and interests you as an IT reseller might have or your customers could ask you about. Featuring experts from Also and leading vendors, we explore diverse insights on AI.
Welcome to the Also AI podcast. I'm Frank Lutzke, your host. Together, we will go on an exciting journey into the future. Each season, we dive deep into different aspects of AI, showing you real-world applications and their impact. Every episode offers new insights and tackles the challenges and questions you and your customers face. As a leading technology provider, Also is dedicated to exploring the latest trends and innovations driving the future of technology. In this first season, AI Insights with Microsoft, we meet with experts from Microsoft and Also. And in today's episode, we explore AI and cybersecurity. Warm welcome to our today's guest, Jelena Bratic, Cybersecurity Solutions Architect at Microsoft, and Jermund Ottermo, Microsoft Security GTM Regional Lead at Also. Wow, very long description names, job description names. From where are you? From which countries do you speak right now? Because you are not in this office where I am right now. Jelena.
Oh, hello everyone, and a big hello from Belgrade, from Serbia, Adriatic, and I'm coming from country where are from Nikola Jokic and Novak Djokovic.
Wonderful. Jelena, just say something from your side. What are you doing at Microsoft? What are your interests? What drive you?
Okay, so I'm part of Microsoft partner organization. I'm working as my partner solution architect in EMEA GPS partner organization with focus on, as I mentioned, security and channel partners. So my focus is to support digital transformation from security perspective, to working very close with partners like you, to build up your security solutions, to working with your partners also, and to be sure that you are using proper new wave of security technology and AI in the end of the day, all of new features, and we together address all of customers' challenges.
Perfect. So you are there to make me safe. Isn't it wonderful? Thank you very much. Jermund, where are you from? And just to ask the same questions, where are you from and what are you doing in the security sector?
Well, I'm from Norway, and I'm one of the starting employees for the new Also security team. And our goal is to, support our Microsoft resellers in every aspect of their work there. I think also Jelena forgot two other famous Serbs I like to bring out, because I usually ask who's the most famous Serb. They answer Tesla, and then I go, no, it's Weird Al Jankovic. And he's
I love Weird Al Jankovic.
Wonderful.
Actually, Nikola Tesla is from my born country. Also, this is very complicated question for the Balkans, so let's keep on the Nikola Jokic and Novak Djokovic.
I think that's a good idea.
Perfect. So, different countries. I'm from Germany. Perfect start. Can you explain how AI is transforming the field of cybersecurity? And this is kind of interesting because different countries, perhaps different kind of views, perhaps different things that happen there. Let's start with German. What could you say?
I would say it's by automating aspects of the detection and response to threats. because AI can quickly identify and neutralize risk in real time. So it can analyze huge amounts of data to spot patterns, unusual activities that might signal danger. And in such, it can make our digital world much safer and more secure.
I'm fully agree with Jermund and 100% on his side, but I also would like to add that AI bring us new muscles. We become faster, much more efficient. But on the other side, just to emphasize that artificial intelligence will not replace people who is working on cybersecurity. And for example, our tool, Copilot Security, is great in context to speed up process of, as Jermund mentioned, responding, guided response, and all other things. But this is still Copilot. It is not pilot. So without meaningful human in front of AI tools, this is just a lot of power, but someone needs to navigate that power.
Now, this is good to hear that it's still some people have to do the magic there. But I also like the idea of the bigger muscles. And when I'm thinking of bigger muscles, on the opposite, with the advancement of AI technology, threats have become increasingly sophisticated. Could you please elaborate on how the threat landscape has evolved? Jelena, perhaps you can start?
Yes, so with AI, also all threats become more and more sophisticated. And on the other side, like anything else, this is great opportunity, but also a challenge. And on one side, it helps us to be faster in, for example, incident analysis, much more concrete or stuff like that. But another side, this is new tool for cyber attackers also, and we need to follow their rhythm of evolution and to be able to address all of these challenges. So having in mind that, so it is important, like if you want to run a sprint, you need to have proper equipment in sport. Same analogic is in cybersecurity. If you want to be protected and defense against very sophisticated attackers and attacks, you need to use proper tools and, for example, and use all of type of integration that is available. And from that perspective, for example, our Unified SOC platform enable all customers to use embedded integrated features, Copilot Security, that instead of analyzing one incident, for example, 20 minutes, you can make it, you can get summary in few minutes, literally in less than 2 minutes. And after that, to verify all of this information that you get, because it is still possible to get some hallucination and stuff like that. And regarding that, it is important to be on top of all of these things.
Great. Jermund, you have something to add?
Yeah, I will do some flexing too, since we're talking about muscles. On the threat side, it has changed a lot with the help of AI. So criminals use these technologies to launch more sophisticated attacks. It could be simple, like they're creating more convincing phishing emails and even make deep fails to trick people. So, and also new gadgets and cloud services have given them more stuff to attack. And some of the more dangerous attackers, some even supported by governments, use long-term strategies to attempt to infiltrate critical infrastructure. But on the flip side, defenders use AI to improve how they detect and respond to those threats. So it's kind of an arms race going on. There are also some concerns casting shadows across the new horizons, like the potential of super powerful quantum computers or it could be security flaws in our self-driving cars, which present new challenges. Additionally, issues related to privacy and fairness are growing more and more important.
Yeah, I think so too, and I like the different fields of possible attacks. I think most people think about, okay, this is my computer, this could be hacked, but self-driving cars or bigger companies like power plants or water plants, I think this is really important to be prepared. Do you think that when criminals use AI to build sophisticated threats, is it a need to have AI for yourself to be prepared for that?
That's a good question. It certainly will help. That, like I was saying, it is an arms race, but not to make people completely paranoid. But we have been using these. It's just recently we've been referring it to it as AI. For a decade, we have used machine learning to proactively predict, zero days attacks and proactively stop threats. So even if AI is a new word, these technologies have been around for a while. So we might have been using them for a long time without realizing it falls into the same category.
And just to add that, I fully agree that machine learning and these, let's say, advanced statistics exist long period of time, but putting that in proper context with proper technology, with integration in cybersecurity, we practically create new layer and new, let's say, features, services, and all around that. And from that perspective, I think very important part that AI has to be controlled. Actually, these machine learning models has to be used in control environment in context. For example, Copilot security. We follow all of these regulations. Also, all data is stayed, not going outside of customer tenants. And another side, we don't use this data for machine LLM model trainings, which is actually very important part in context that these enterprise solutions will not be used on inappropriate rate to put in whole big graph, and another side maybe to create some risk of privacy and all other things. So
Yeah.
I think that technology exists some period of time, but these days momentum with new computer capacity, with this knowledge, new models give us completely new perspectives.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point about protecting your intellectual property, even if you implement AI.
And I think we need to speak about that more and more to help people to rationalize that, because in the past we had situation who will hack my private information, and now we people around us is aware how is important to keep our privacy. On the other side, also it is important to educate, let's say, wider ecosystem to be sure that they understand if they put some information in, for example, some enterprise solution, that this data is going outside of their tenant, about outside of company's ecosystem, and who knows who can get this information. So education is very important part. And for example, when I'm working with partners and customers, one of few first questions are, do you know who use AI, any kind of enterprise AI solution in your organization? Are you sure that sensitive data in from your business is not going to, for example, ChatGPT or some other
For
enterprise
sure, there's
AI?
a lot of dark AI going on.
Yes, and they usually say we don't have clue. And this is actually in most of situation very very visible. And another side, I think this is important, that in most of cases, even for example, our solution, Microsoft Purview, our, let's say, X compliance portal, give at least information light on that dark. And we also introduce new concept, like we have security score, but for data security, we have data security posture management for AI, where you actually can see what is going on in your organization, who is using enterprise AI solutions, for what purposes, what data, and other things. And I'm pretty confident that 80% of those people don't use that intentionally to compromise data, just because they want to simplify their job. And regarding that, education is very important, but another side to give people to IT security and compliance, because this part is not just, let's say, topic for security people or for IT people. This is also a very important part for HR compliance, to give them heads up and to working on this awareness program.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Another thing that came to my mind, are industries. Do you see any patterns here also? And are smaller businesses more vulnerable to cyber attacks? Well, perhaps Jermund can begin.
Okay. Smaller businesses? In the past, I would say they wouldn't have access to enterprise level security. So in some regard, yes. But now we're seeing a leveling of the playing field, and Microsoft is doing a good job of democratizing strong security. So yeah, it could come down to resources, but we're plugging that gap with tools, and AI plays a huge role in that.
Maybe I can add that for small business, in the past, that was, let's say, some very basic solutions. But these days, as Jermund mentioned, so we have this, let's say, next generation antivirus practically integrated in operating system. On the other side, we have a lot of great partners like also that they offer security as a service. And this is much more simplified way how to make this, let's say, complex solution accessible for small business. And regarding that, as Jermund mentioned, democratized this, let's say, capacity to protect themselves. And I would say that small business is also exposed, probably even more than 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's
Earlier,
about half, I think,
yeah,
statistically.
yeah. So fully agree with you.
Thanks. Well, I think a little bit more. Are there different kind of areas where cyber attacks could be launched? I don't know. We've talked about self-driving cars, perhaps financial services like banks or something. Are there areas where or areas, countries, whatever, that are more interesting to hackers than others?
Interestingly, automated attacks are really indiscriminate. They're not seeing what it is, if it's a bank or a children's hospital or whatever it is, or a energy company or a salon at the corner. It just looks for vulnerabilities and points of attack. So in a sense, yeah, that's also kind of democratic, but in a bad way. So yeah.
I would say that maybe for sure financial services is very exposed. Also, but this is, let's say, traditional target industry. But also healthcare become more and more attractive because of, let's say, personal and medical data that could be used in some commercial purposes.
Yeah, for sure. Data exfiltration of sensitive information. Yeah.
Especially because now in hospital we have a different type of medical system. We have a lot of everything is actually in some programs and in some data lakes. So regarding that, this is also very attractive, let's say, industry. A part of that, traditionally, I would say also retail, such as payment card systems, and they are very often exposed to ransomware attacks or something like that. Manufacturing, because if you have some glitch in production, time is resources which is not possible to recover. And regarding that also, in another side, they can ask for some money to unlock whole system or something like that. And for sure, always public sector and the government, because in traditional institution, we collect the data of citizens, some very sensitive data about properties, about health insurance, about a lot of things. And that could be also extremely valuable for someone else for on dark market and to make different type of transactions. So
they follow the opportunity of money and sensitive data. So just follow that, and you know which one are sensitive, or rather prone to be attacked.
And I'm surprised actually that, for example, in my region, we faced several situations that some education systems was also exposed and under the risk of attacks. And we find way of some, let's say, suspicious activity, because in the end, this is also a lot of personal data of children or young people, for example, from university. So regarding that, so spectrum is very wide, practically end to end. Now, when I'm thinking, actually, it is difficult to find industry that is not interested, that couldn't be, let's say, target for this kind of activity.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, we talk so much about the tools that help us, the tools that help hackers to attack us. For me, I'm using Copilot. Sometimes I use the AI on my phone, and but essential, are AI tools safe to use?
Who want to go first?
So, no, I would say like anything else. So, yes, for sure. If you start to use that without proper onboarding, analysis, assessment, for sure, very high chance for some compromission. But another side, what we find out, like Corona and this, let's say, lockdown, help us a lot of regarding digital transformation and to switch on this, all of this, let's say, online services. And I think that AI services will significantly help to clean up and to organize data security ecosystems in enterprise environment. Because, for example, M365 Copilot is a great tool. But if you didn't make proper classification of sensitive data and the privilege of users who can access to what, this is just question of when IT security compliance and HR whole organization will face huge challenge. So regarding that, our recommendation is for sure to build up proper business models, but in parallel, for sure, to be sure that your data security framework is properly, let's say, reviewed in context that you classify data, you made proper labels, you have visibility who is accessing to what, and practically to have proper tool to monitor all of other things. And we just recently, maybe a few months ago, reshaped our Purview portal in context that to switch to modules, visibility in context, one module is to define data loss prevention, sensitive data to manage policies. Other module is compliance part, when you can assess your ecosystem and to choose proper frameworks like DORA, ISO 20000, NIS2, and all other. Second module is IRM. So to monitor and to follow suspicious user activity and to have visibility on user activity, also on what is going on devices, because whole of this ecosystem is very complex, and you need to have proper tool for each of challenge, and only together it is possible to monitor and to maintain and to be sure that you have information on timely manner and actually tools to make proper corrective actions.
Yeah. Well, I can add that just like any other tool, the safety of using AI depends on how we use it and what precautions we take. So AI tools can be super helpful and make our work easier and give us useful information, but like anything powerful, they come with risks such as privacy issues, biases, and potential misuse. So you can might as well ask, is a hammer safe? Well, a hammer is great for driving in nails, but it can cause injury if I bonk you on the head with it. Or driving a car. Cars are great for getting places, but they can be dangerous if operated recklessly. So the key to safety with AI is using it responsibly, setting it up correctly, as you mentioned, and keeping it secure. And it's fun because we all need to go through similar training to be allowed to drive. But we don't get any if limited training for using internet or AI tools. And this lack of common understanding can make us more vulnerable to risks. So to stay safe with AI, we need to understand things about it, what its limitations may be, and what the potential risks are. And by doing this, I believe we can use AI tools more safely.
I very like your analogy with this, let's say, car, and we need to learn how to use that properly, because like anything else, everything could be a great opportunity, but also huge challenge. And just to add to that, for example, speaking with leaders in our ecosystem, actually, even AI brings a lot of benefits and potentials. 55% of not only IT leaders, general leaders in company, I would not say afraid, but they see huge challenge how to address upcoming regulations and how to address that without over-engineering. And for that, because they don't have unlimited resources, just to be sure that they are aligned with existing and upcoming regulations. And for sure, as anything else, they need to build up proper baseline, and regarding that, to put one by one piece and to build up sustainable system, not some ad hoc and isolate solutions. And but we had similar situation in the past, maybe with e-commerce, with electronic banking, with citizens online services from government and other things. Everything looks in the beginning extremely complicated, but when you have good baseline, good architecture, and vision for the future, I think it is much easier to going in that future in the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Jelena, you mentioned it already. EU regulations like DORA and NIS2. But these regulations, it's like a driver's license or something that should be kept on the mind of companies. Are these regulations affecting the companies or the drive of AI? Do you have perhaps even have some tricks on helping these companies?
So I think there is not existing magic stick. Existing regulation. So we have a lot of activity around that, and people become more and more educated. Not only, let's say, like in the past, only critical services. It becomes, let's say, indirect, mandatory, or not so strict requirement for more or less whole enterprise segments. And I think for that, it is important that, as we mentioned earlier, to build up sustainable system and to minimize manual activity and manual assessments and all other things. So regarding that, so to define proper security framework, to develop operational resilience plans, to build up and extend business continuity plan, to run and to update on regular basis trainings and awareness. And usually we faced more and more dedicate resources inside of company, and another side, and in parallel, as we mentioned earlier, we have a lot of different type of security outsourcing services, and I expect a similar trend also for data security, that for small companies, they will use, let's say, a simple compliance as a service, and another side, some services per users or something like that, to have visibility about compliance score, which is, let's say, similar like a security score, to have, let's say, access to some assessments and reports regarding regulation, and especially with online services where we have this, let's say, shared responsibility between cloud provider and user, and for sure more or less clear barriers, who is responsible for what. And what is also good that, for example, in our tools, we have literally in each of tools, from Sentinel CM solution, Defender for Cloud as infrastructure and protection, Defender for Endpoint and endpoint protection, compliance, Entra, and all other things. This, let's say, compliance component where you can see how you are aligned with selected regulation like NIS2, DORA, ISO 27000, GDPR, HIPPO, or some industry-specific regulation. And this is, as I mentioned from the beginning, this is not magic stick, but at least you will cover with that 60-70%, and the rest of this activity you will do something very specific and for your company, and practically to put that in proper context, fit for use and fit for purpose.
Yeah, for sure. Regardless how it's pronounced, in Norway we are part of the EØS, so it's even worse. These new rules will require companies to keep their systems extra secure and manage risk better, and adhere to reporting rules. You are, of course, still allowed to be subjected to a crime. However, you're not allowed to stay quiet about it, especially if it impacts others. And as on a side note, you never had the option to be grossly incompetent, resulting in an incident either. So that was never on the table. So to get ready, companies should check where they need to improve, put together or retain the services of a skilled team, understand how the new rules will impact them, and then review their digital safety plans and set up ways to follow the processes and implement tools that regularly and preferably automatically check for risks and breaches. And as you mentioned, even by comparison to the GDPR, the response time now is significantly shorter. So we used to have 72 hours, but under NIS2 it's 24. So some tips to yeah, sorry.
No, I just want to follow up this part, which is, I think, very important. In the past, we didn't have so level of transparency. And now I think this is positive movement.
Yeah, I
And
would go a bit further, that you would actually risk more by, if a company would feel exposed by telling that they have been attacked. So you had more to lose than to win, and we got away of some of that bias and made it safe to report.
Yes, but which means and indicated that our society become much more mature regarding cybersecurity, because these days this is not question, should I be attacked? This is question, if you don't care about that, it would happen 100%. So, and if someone is attacked, this is not just, let's say, problem of that customer, enterprise ecosystem or organization, that would affected everyone around us, because this is not good. And I think that creating this culture, learn on failed, in context that do not wait that we repeat some mistakes of other, and this lessons learned model also bring completely new perspective of this topic. And I can say that when I had this situation that some organization was attacked, a lot of people offered their, and other organization, even competition, direct competition, offer support, help, and other, because this is common challenge, and all of us, we are on one side against someone who wants to compromise our ecosystem. And this is very good. And public sector, enterprise segment, education, and all practically industry start to collaborate very well, and reporting even small indication of or just observation of potential attacks, and share that with central institution, not only just because they have to report about that, but also to say to other, and to see, is it maybe some glitch, or this is really some serious situation, because in the end of the day, this is not always easy to address some suspicious activity, and to define proper level of complexity, and how this risk situation is actually serious, or just, let's say, small isolated part.
Mm. I like your point about our shared responsibility, because you can't make the differentiation because it's digital. So why does society work? Well, we all do our part. We adhere to rules. We try to stay within the white lines and so forth, and follow some processes and checklists that make everything go smoothly. I think it's the same thing, even if it's digital.
Fully agree. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. You act totally cool together. You making a wonderful one big picture. If you could be brief, just in bullet points. I know that you addressed already some of the points, and most of the points. But what are some of the key benefits of integrating AI into cybersecurity strategies?
Yeah. Well, integrating AI into cybersecurity strategies offer many benefits. If you realize that AI can quickly process a lot of information, and in such help to spot and respond to threats faster and more accurately. It can handle routine tasks, like checking logs and finding weak spots, which reduce mistakes and allow experts, the pilots, as she said, to focus on bigger problems. AI can also notice unusual behavior that might mean an insider threat, and it can predict new dangers, so we can prepare in advance. These skills make an AI an essential tool for keeping our digital world safe.
I would also say, I would also add that, for example, my experience that for some institutions that start to use, for example, Copilot security, onboarding process for junior SOC analyst was much more faster, because they didn't need to ask for each of clarification, some onboarding body or some senior people. And this is actually good that it is important to identify some scenarios, and this part is very important. Why to integrate AI into cybersecurity strategies, to define scenarios how to use properly AI, not just like gamification, fancy tool and something which is also, and just to play with that. Because, for example, for sure, we are all facing a shortage of experienced people in cybersecurity, especially because cyber landscape become wider and deeper. We have cyber from deep dive engineers, cybersecurity and encoding, and another side, data security, which is mostly processes, policies, and let's say this business context of data. And regarding that, I would say that with Copilot, we can save time engagement of people. And on other side, maybe to speed up this process of troubleshooting and to get to some meaningful conclusions in shorter period of time. Having in mind that I'm a very strong promoter of increased visibility of women in cybersecurity, when we speak about this, let's say, huge gap of cybersecurity resources, I think this, together with AI, to attract more ladies to take stronger participation in cybersecurity and demystify cybersecurity. This is just for boys, and this is something very complicated. I think we will, together with AI, significantly improve our ecosystem and to decrease this gap. Gap will always exist, especially when we speak about quality, not only about quantity, but when we start to work harder on that part, and together with AI integration, we will have huge improvement.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think with technology is just the thing that gets you to the thing. And when you view IT, I think you have this misconception. It's something engineering, something boring.
Yeah.
But I've worked here in IT so many years, and it's about people, helping people. And sometimes I feel like a socionome in that sense, because it's not very technical. It's about, well, of course, there's technology involved, but yeah, it's a very people-centric occupation. And I
Fully
think,
agree. Yeah.
and I think that in that space, women would thrive.
Let's see. Yeah, for sure. But thank you for support. Yeah.
At least I like the idea of if it's a people-centric thing. We talk about AI, and there are still people there. I like that. Now we're running a little bit of time, so I would like to. Could you recommend one AI-based security tool that our customers outside there should definitely try, and why?
So maybe lady first. Yeah.
Please.
So for sure, this is Copilot Security. Why? Because this is Copilot, and this is human-centric. And another side, integration is smoothless and very easy. So, but another side, it doesn't mean this is not powerful, because when you switch on Copilot Security, it is automatically integrated in all of your Microsoft security tools, which means maybe not strictly security, but Unified SOC platform, Defender Portal, Sentinel, Defender for Cloud, and the whole suite, Intune endpoint protection, so in Exchange and Purview for sure. So whole ecosystem. And what is good, We didn't touch this part regarding prompting, that it is very prompting, and to put proper question to AI tools is also not so easy and very important dimension. But in Copilot Security, in embedded, integrated solution with all of our tools, practically when you click, he knows where he knows what type of prompts to activate in background, and this integration and everyday use is maximum simplified, and regarding that we find out actually the best outcome and user experience for embedded solution. But for sure we have and standalone, but my first pick would be for sure embedded Copilot Security experience in all of our security ecosystem.
Yeah. I think I spoiled it earlier, but talking about machine learning a little bit, but I'll harken back to that once. And as I said, chances are you might have been using it for years already. It goes by different names now, but your insurance company sure likes if you have some kind of advanced protection. So I will go with EDR, endpoint detection and response, and it has been crucial in tackling unknown threats like zero-day attacks. And such solutions are commonly deeply intertwined with machine learning. So I'm going to give some love to machine learning, even if you stop saying it and call everything AI.
Yes, instead of statistics, we call data scientist and all other things. But yes, in a nutshell, this is, let's say, all of things that we use some not so short period of time.
I'm a fan of buzzwords, so I don't mind.
Okay.
So time is flying, and we are getting to an end of this exciting episode. I like to sum it up a little bit. Jelena and Jermund, what would be the key take of this episode, and perhaps something that how we can help resellers?
So from my side, this is for sure, let's demystify AI and encourage everyone to use it more, but on proper way, and to put that in function of business, not just as, let's say, interesting topic.
Yeah. Back to me then. Well, I think we have established that AI is not merely a trend in cybersecurity or other areas. It's a fundamental paradigm shift. And it will empower experts to identify and neutralize online threats with unprecedented speed and precision by autonomously analyzing colossal data sets for subtle anomalies. So AI act as a always digital sentinel. That's a drop for you, Microsoft, dramatically enhancing threat detection capabilities. However, this transformative powers is also double-edged sword. I know even a double-edged sword is a double-edged sword because it's sharp on one side. Anyway, I digress. Malicious actors are equally leveraging AI to engineer increasingly sophisticated and deceptive attacks, as we mentioned before. And these stakes are escalating as AI fuels both defense and offense in the digital realm.
Fully agree, and I liked your comment that this is paradigm shift to new era, and we need to be part of that for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to blow over.
The muzzle thing. That muzzle thing is in my head now, and I guess it will be for a very long time. So, to wrap up, great summaries from both of you. For me, it has been a very enlightening and fascinating experience to learn more about AI and cybersecurity and the powerful tools and capabilities that can transform and help businesses. Big thanks to our guests, Jelena Bratic and from Microsoft and Jermund Ottermo from Also for interesting topics and insights you shared with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope today's insights have been both thought-provoking and practical for your future endeavors. Whether you're an IT reseller or just curious, I hope this episode has inspired new ideas and perspectives. Feel free to share your thoughts and ask us questions. All links, products details and further resources can be found in the show notes and on the website. Thank you for tuning in to Also AI Podcast and the season AI Insights with Microsoft. My name is Frank Lutzke, your host. Stay curious, stay informed, and join us next time.
Also AI Podcast. Whether you're an IT reseller or simply curious, we hope today's episode has inspired new ideas and perspectives. The conversation continues beyond this episode. Share your thoughts and ask your questions. For more resources, links, and product details discussed today, don't forget to check out our show notes and visit our podcast website.